محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم قال الله تعالى بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا وقال تعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. I wanted to just talk briefly about how we should learn from the mercy of the Prophet ﷺ, of how he was, first of all, the best teacher, and how he taught us that we need to treat each other with respect and love. That as believers in Muhammad ﷺ, we need to be loving of each other. Allah Ta'ala says in Surah Al-Fath, the last ayah, Muhammadur Rasulullah وَالَّذِينَ مَعَهُ أَشِدَّاءُ عَلَى الْكُفَّارِ رُحَمَاءُ بَيْنَهُمْ. And the ayah continues. One of the characteristics of those who are with Muhammad, the Messenger of God, ﷺ, is that they are merciful to one another. We Muslims, we cannot survive if we don't have mercy to our fellow brothers and sisters in Islam. Whether it's with our own families or outside of our families. In the masjid, at work. Not to say that we don't have mercy with other people. We do, and there's plenty of proofs for that. But that's not the topic at hand today. And Ashidda'u ala al-kuffar, one of the explanations I heard from my teachers, Yahya Rodis was explaining, his teacher said, this, when you are severe with those who disbelieve, what that means is that you are stern in the sense that you don't let the disbelief enter your hearts. Because the whole point of the Prophet ﷺ was to invite people to the truth, was to invite people to the Ma'dubatullah, if you will, the feast that Allah is inviting us to, which is the Quran, this Islam. It's a blessing for everybody. It's a light. We want people to come to Islam. How do you think people entered into Islam if the Prophet ﷺ didn't want it? He would spend day and night. But there was a time when he was the only believer. And so he would spend his nights crying for everybody, crying for you and I. Ummati, ummati, he would spend all night weeping for you and I. And how many nights do we spend weeping for him? Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, out of love for him. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So he really had this concern. And so a lot of times we think we're religious sometimes and we like, oh, kuffar, but no, that should not be our attitude. لَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعٌ نَفْسَكَ عَلَىٰ آثَارِهِمْ إِن لَّمْ يُؤْمِنُوا بِهَٰذَا الْحَدِيثِ أَسَفًا. Allah says, as if the Prophet wants to kill himself because he wants people to come to the truth. We have to love for the people to enter Islam. لَا يُؤْمِنُ أَحَدُكُمْ حَتَّى يُحِبَّ لِأَخِيهِ مَا يُحِبُّ لِنَفْسِهِ. The Prophet said, none of you truly believes until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. And the explanation is that this includes all your brother in humanity. We love for our fellow human beings to enter into Islam, to feel the light as well. But how can we have, if we didn't enjoy the light, if we don't know what Islam is about, then we need to learn that first, of course. But, anybody, بَلِّغُ عَنِّي وَلَوْ آيَةً, we should spread about the Messenger of God, whatever we know. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So my point is basically, we have to, we dislike the kufr, but we don't hate the kafir. So if somebody has disbelief in the heart, you have a non-Muslim coworker who is a Christian, hardcore Hindu, whatever, atheist, you don't hate them. You don't know who's going to enter into Islam. Right before they die, what if they take Shahada? We dislike the kufr. We don't let because they might have many good qualities in them that could help the aid of Islam. And the Prophet ﷺ recognized that. And he made dua for his mushrikeen, the people, that may Allah help Islam through this person. So we should be praying for our fellow human beings. But anyway, the point of this topic is that we need to have mercy to ourselves too, our fellow Muslims. Sometimes we are nicer to our coworkers who are not Muslim, but even in our own house, the wife comes home, the husband comes home, and we're all of a sudden a totally different person than we are at home, than we are at work. So we need to make sure we have good character and be the most merciful. It's easy to get hurt by the people who are closest to you. And that's why it takes the most work and effort to be gentle and merciful. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ said, أَكْمَلُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِيمَانًا أَحْسَنُهُمْ أَخْلَاقًا وَخَيْرُكُمْ خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَهْلِهِ وَأَنَا خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَهْلِهِ sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, the most complete of you in faith, in iman, is the best in character. And the best of you is the best to his family. Your wife, your kids and everything, meaning she yells at you, you don't yell back. For example, just a simple example. And he said to himself, I'm the best to my family. And he's telling us that because look to him for the example. Look to his companions. So the famous story of Umar radiallahu anhu, when a person came to him, when he wanted to complain to Umar, who was the leader at the time, if I'm not mistaken, he wanted to complain about his wife. That, oh, my wife is mean to me, blah, blah, blah. Just giving the story, paraphrasing it. And so he knocked on the door, and he heard Umar radiallahu anhu was getting yelled at by his wife. And so he said in his mind, you know what, he's getting yelled at by his wife too, and I can't ask, he can't help me then, so I'm out of here. And so he started turning away, and then Umar radiallahu anhu opened the door and said, and told him to come back. What's your problem? You came in for a reason, tell me why you're here. And he explained to him, I wanted to complain about my wife. And then Umar radiallahu anhu said, Hadihi zawji, this is my wife, she's helping me, she takes care of this, she's doing this. Shouldn't I be patient? This is not exactly verbatim, but shouldn't I be patient with her? So the key is, as Muslims, as believers, we have to always look for the silver lining. We have to always look for the good. Even if your wife is maybe not having a good day, you know, when they have emotions, for example. So, alhamdulillah, she's Muslim. What's the ayah? In shakartum la'azidannakum. Find the blessing. Find the blessing in the difficult moments. Find the blessing when you're suffering. Find the blessing, and that's the secret to the ayah. لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. Allah will increase for you. You give gratitude when you're having a difficult moment, things will open up, inshallah. Allah will increase you. He doesn't say what He's going to increase you, because it's open. It could be anything. Increase you in blessing, increase you in good, increase you in whatever you want, depending on how much good hope you have in Allah, based on your actions, inshallah. And then the other story, there's another beautiful story where the Prophet ﷺ said, he was sitting with his companions and said, the next person who enters here is going to be a person of Jannah. And some random Muslim came by, random Sahabi, that he wasn't famous for, you know, any special good deeds. And so one of the Sahaba decided, you know, I want to find out what's so special about this guy. Why did the Prophet ﷺ single this person out to be a person of Jannah? And so he slept with him he stayed in his house for 3 days or so as a guest. And he told him, you know what? I only wanted to be your guest because the Prophet ﷺ said something about you. And so I just wanted to find it out. But I didn't see anything special about you. You know, you're just a regular Muslim like me. So what's special about you? And so this Sahaba, he said, you know, I can't think of anything, but maybe there's one thing I do that could help. And he said, every single night, he doesn't go to bed, except he thinks about every single Muslim in the world. And he's thinking about everybody, that he doesn't have any ill will towards anybody. You know, let's just stop for a minute. I mean, let's just stop and think. I mean, can we say that about ourselves? Can I say that there is not a single person that I have any ill wills towards? And if I do, just let it go. Just let it go. You know, because it doesn't help you to hold on to a grudge. It only harms you, and we know this from science of psychology. It only creates more stress. You're only carrying a burden on your back. I mean, أَلَا تُحِبُّونَ أَن يَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ. Don't you love Allah to forgive you? So forgive others. Forgive others. And it's very important we have to learn to do that. And especially if it's a family member or somebody close to you, we just have to learn to forgive. Yes, some wounds are very painful, and some things time will heal, but ultimately we have to, you know, either now or in Qiyamah. I mean, come on. It's easier to get things resolved here. Wouldn't we want to resolve it here now than standing before Allah Yawm al-Qiyamah, when everybody will be saying, nafsi, nafsi? Nobody's going to want to help you then. Nobody's going to want to help you. They're going to want to get everything from you at that point. So very important that we need to make sure we're on good terms with. I mean, obviously, if somebody wrongs you, I mean, you know, there's a concept of justice in Islam. But if you take the higher ground, that's even better. Not to say that you can't get justice, but we have to, you know, hope for other people, like pray for the person. If there's a person that you're having quarrel with, trust me, the last thing Shaitan wants you to do is make dua for the person. If you really dislike somebody, try this. Make dua for them. Oh Allah, forgive this person. Give them good character. They are so mean to me. They cry to Allah like this, like exactly what's on your heart. Oh, this person is so mean to me. This person rebukes me and beats me up. It treats me so well. I hate them. Oh Allah, make me have mercy towards them and love them and change their heart. And trust me, that's the last thing Shaitan will want you to do is make dua for your fellow Muslim. And amazing things will happen. And the angels will say Ameen for you. And the Prophet ﷺ said in a beautiful hadith, part of it says, Kullul Muslim haram. The entirety of a Muslim is haram. The entirety of a Muslim is sacred. Damuhu wa maluhu wa irduhu. His life. You can't hurt your brother. You punch him, you're in trouble. You kill him, you're in trouble. Maluhu wa irduhu. His wealth. You can't steal. And his honor, his good name. You're talking smack about somebody behind their back. You're backbiting. You're slandering. You're hurting their reputation. It's very important. These things are very serious. Like, let's put it this way. You and I, we all hold the Kaaba. We all want to go for Umrah, right? We all would love to see the Kaaba. When you go and sit in front of the Kaaba, we know how sacred that is. Would any of us want to throw a stone at the Kaaba or throw a missile at it? You would never want to do that. And you know what the Prophet ﷺ said when the Sahaba were sitting there in front of the Kaaba? He said the Muslim is more sacred than the Kaaba. Is more sacred. So the fellow believer who says, La ilaha illallah, I don't care what he does. He says, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, he's a Muslim, he's more sacred than the Kaaba. We have to be serious. We don't talk bad about them at all. We don't backbite. We don't slander. We don't hurt their feelings. And if we do, we rush to apologize. Look at the story of Abu Zar al-Ghifari radiallahu anhu and Bilal radiallahu anhuma. Bilal was the famous black Sahabi. And Abu Zar was another amazing Sahabi. They're both amazing. And one time they were having an argument, and he said, "Oh, son of the black woman," to Bilal, Yabna Sawda. And that was considered a bad word at the time, disrespectful. And Bilal, he's a human being, radiallahu anhu, he was hurt. And he was very hurt by that. And he complained to the Messenger of God, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told Abu Zar that you still have jahiliyyah in you. You still have this ignorance in you. In other words, there's still that disease in you that needs to be healed. But he didn't just run away and become angry. Abu Zar felt bad. He's like, you know what? I got to do something about it. So he went to Bilal, apologized to him, and he was so humble, he put his own face on the ground. He put himself on the ground and told Bilal, "Oh Bilal, you step on me now. I disrespected you. You step on me. You humiliate me." Of course, Bilal didn't want to do that. They forgave each other, of course. But it's a beautiful story that illustrates how we need to have love. And didn't the Prophet tell us that? You know, you will not enter Jannah until you believe. You will not enter into Jannah, paradise, until you believe. And guess what? You won't believe. وَلَن تُؤْمِنُوا حَتَّى تَحَابُّوا. We have to love one another. We have to love one another, and that's a huge part of our religion, and sometimes we forget. So I ask Allah to help us, to increase us in our iman and our faith towards each other, and in our love for one another, and make us true followers of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه غفور رحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره والحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Basically, if you just remember one hadith from here, it's لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. That none of you truly believe. Your faith is not complete until you love for your brother what you love for yourself. So before you speak something, remember, just think, would I like this for myself? Would I like it for somebody to yell at me? Maybe I should pull this person to the side and tell them gently, for example. You know, just think about that. And even better than that is that you love for your brother more than what you love for yourself. somebody give me a glass of water. No. We should be passing the water to the person next to us. We should be preferring others over us. That's ithar. That's even better. Something to aim for. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اللهم اغفر لي وللمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم اغفر لأمة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وانصر أمة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم واغفر لنا جميعا يا أرحم الراحمين وتقبل منا يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد بارك وسلم. قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمني وإياكم الله. Please move to your left.